¿Qué tal amigos? ¿Cómo les va? Mi nombre es Eloy Ríos y soy director de la empresa Cat Toner. Pues el día de hoy quisimos hacer algo diferente y le pedí a mi amigo Tommy, que es dueño de una de las 3 fábricas más importantes en China, que de hecho está situado en la ciudad de Shenzhen, que nos concediera una entrevista, la cual queremos compartir con ustedes. Entonces está súper interesante, cubrimos temas como la liberación de los nuevos chips, el proceso de selección de proveedores, el control de calidad que manejan en cada uno de los pasos y cubrimos aspectos más generales como es qué opina él sobre la guerra comercial entre Estados Unidos y China y que nos compartiera un poquito su experiencia de cómo manejó la pandemia a inicios del año 2020. Entonces está súper padre, la entrevista está en inglés, pero como la vamos a subir a YouTube, pues ahí lo que tienes que hacer es oprimir el botón de subtítulos. La traducción igual no está perfecta, pero ahí pusimos algunas correcciones para que te ayuden a comprender mejor. Entonces, esta es la primera parte de la entrevista, ya que es un poquito larga, la dividimos en 2 partes, pero te la vamos a compartir y pues en verdad esperamos que la disfrutes tanto como nosotros. Entonces, cuídense mucho y recuerden que en Cat Toner, más que ser tu simple proveedor de cartuchos, queremos ser tu socio de negocios. Gracias.
I know the chips is getting more and more hard because the OEM, they want to use the more difficult chips to keep the gap between
Right.
OEM and compatible.
Correct.
So now, very experienced and the big chip companies like Apex, like Chipjet. So they take more than 1 year to develop one new chips.
So in the future, we can expect that at least a year.
Normally for one project, it's the one new model chips. It's take about 1 year to develop it. So that means the gap between compatible and OEM is about 1 year. China, we start the open and reform policy from long time, maybe about 40 years ago. So all Chinese work very hard.
Yes, we all know that.
Yeah.
Incredible hard.
And our GDP growing very fast. So, but the industry structure is not so high levels. So we need to update our technology. So we need to invest for basic R&D. But not everybody want to do it, because in China, everybody wants to make money fast, to be rich. So it's true, we need some chance to remind us, you need invest, you need R&D. So because USA, they block a lot of technology. For example, like the semiconductor industry, they stop the chips to supply us. So that is why we have to do it by ourselves. So for me, I think it's a good reminder for us. It's reminding us to be more clear, to be more low profile, to know yourself more clear. What is your short terms? So I think since Trump, they start this technology war, not commercial war, technology war, the high technology war to China. So I think China, all the people know we need to update our industry level, we need to invest, and we need to pay attention to the IP. We should develop IP by ourselves, not buy, not borrow, not steal. So that is, I think, in very short time, change the mind of all of Chinese people. So from this point, maybe we have 2 or 3 years very difficult time in the semiconductor industry, but we trust our country can come over this difficult time, and we trust that we can develop the high technology semiconductor by ourselves.
Okay.
So today we not only choose supplier, we are developing our supply systems.
Okay.
So that means we have a supplier, supply teams or supply groups.
Okay.
So this is very important. Then,
okay. Uh-huh.
yeah, then the supplier, they must treat us like we treat our clients. Very serious about the quality. Very serious about what you promised to us. I mean, we just select the suppliers who we can count on it. We can count on their quality, delivery times, service, and what they promised to us is. So that means we just can can work with the suppliers who we can trust.
It's more like a partner than a supplier.
Yeah. And now, the supplier, they have their own quality control system, and accept our quality control system, and accept our engineer teams to do the quality control at their production line.
Wow.
Or at their research center or testing center. Because in the other factories, maybe they just testing the parts when the parts delivered to their factory. But that's will be later sometimes, because you need to feed the production line right now. But the parts arriving here is not so qualified. So you have very limited choice, or even you have to use it, even it's not perfect.
Yes.
So we will send our engineer to our suppliers. They must open their testing, quality control to us, and our engineer will go there to do the quality control with them together. And all the suppliers, we must have the contract to write down the commercial terms to confirm and fix the standard, what we can acceptable. For example, the DB, WB, they have the rubber. We will have the picture as attachment of the contract to showing what is the hardness of the rubber, what is the white of the rubber or length of the rubbers, the standard one, and also what is the tolerance we can acceptable. Maximum tolerance we can accept. So every parts we have contracts with attachment, very specific technology, date, and accept the standards. So that's what we ask supply to accept them. So these preconditions for us to work together. I think the first step, we need to have a very clear, acceptable standard. I mean the specific technology date, what we can acceptable, and contract with the supplier. Then our engineer will go there testing center to do the testing or randomly quality control in the production line. When the products come to our factory, definitely we will do the incoming raw material testing. Every batch, when they come to our factory, we have machine and procedures to testing it meet our standard or not, it accept or not, just tested and qualified parts can enter our production line. If not qualified, we will reject it. They will take it back. So this is the incoming raw material control. When the products go to our production line, we will have 100% in the pot, I mean in the production line testing. Every piece of capture will test it. And after the production line, off the line, I mean, I'll have QC team, they will take from the production line 8% randomly to do the PQ1 testing, PQ2 testing, and the live testing. Later, when these products stock on the inventory, put in the stock, so we will do another testing randomly before package. If the products stop on the warehouse more than 1 month, for example 1 month, so we need testing again randomly. So we have different steps and procedures to do the quality control. Actually, our quality control before the parts produced, then before the parts come to our factory. So these are schedules, steps about the quality control. And all the parts, when the parts come to our factory, we have different instruments and testing to control the quality. Like we have the environmental testing. I think everybody will do it. But what different is Retech do the extreme environmental testing. What means extreme environment? For example, the temperature. We will do minus 35 degree testing. Minus 35 degree. Because we have a lot of containers to Russian markets and Kazakhstan. So those countries, it's very, very cold in winters. So they ask us to do this testing. So we do the minus 35 degree testing. We put our cartridge, all the formulation. Even we change one part in the cartridges, we must do the hot cartridge. Put hot cartridge on the inside this instrument. Keep it 24 hours. Then we take it out to warm it. Then start testing. So all the catcher can pass this minus 35 degree testing. So later, when the factory need to open, So we need to get approved from the government, because government control all the factory. You cannot open it to protect the society, to protect all the workers. Then all the government frozen all the society, frozen immediately. At the beginning, they closed Wuhan. Later, all the China frozen. Everybody must stay at house at least 14 days. So all the society stopped immediately. And everybody accepted and obeyed. So that is the reasons we stopped it at a very earlier time. I mean, all China stopped the pandemic, stopped this coronavirus at very beginning time. So when our factory opened, it's very difficult decisions for me. Because after I get permission from the government, so I have the right to make decisions. Let's start today. But I need to balance. In my right hand, I need to protect all my clients. They're hungry for products. Everybody rush us for products. The delivery times, it's very, very hard for us. We get more and more orders. But in the other hand, we need to protect our workers, our employees. So everybody is a human being. Everybody have his own life and family. So you cannot just think about yourself, your pocket or money. That time, I think healthy life is more than everything. So my personally make very, very difficult decisions here. So we choose some workers who already arrived in the factory. So they already stay in the factory for a few days, even more than 10 days. So we are very sure they are healthy. So we start from these very, very small teams, just one line. Later it's 2 lines. And we have very strict system to control everybody enter factory or outside factories. So the first very difficult decision for me, to protect business or protect your workers. So the business is first, money is first, or human beings first, safety first. Because in the factory running every day, you have the very basic fee and cost, and that's also a very huge amount. So if you stop 1 month, that's maybe eat all your profit of a whole year. So you really need to balance. And also at the beginning, even you want to start the factory, to open the factory, you must have enough materials, like the facing mask, like the liquid soap, like the disinfectant to clean the environment, to protect everybody, not infect. So every day you need to disinfect all the factory, every corner. So you have a lot of job to protect. And even, for example, even all the workers, they're eating the lunch, we must separate them, keep the distances, at least 1.5 meters. So we have very strict regulations that times to protect all the workers and all the factories. So we are very careful about everybody in the factory. And that time, I came back from European. I personally come back from outside. So I have to stay at home at least 14 days. So I personally cannot go to factory. I work in my house. So this is very, very difficult time for me, for the Chinese factory. You must to balance. You must to insistent, to work very hard, to move very hard every day. It's like you are inside the tunnel. You don't know when we're finished, when this pandemic will close. You just know you have to stay healthy today. And you don't know what you should do to protect yourself, or what you do should be enough. So, and that time, everybody around you, they are very fear, because at the beginning, even you get infected, even you don't have chance to go to hospital. But I'm lucky, I'm in Shenzhen, so they have enough space and sourcing. But in Wuhan city, a lot of people, they don't have enough sourcing from the hospital to receive them. So everybody very fear that time. And as time going by, so the government invest a lot of teams, even soldiers, doctors, to solve these problems. So we have to we have the very experienced and expert and doctor teams from all the country. The government gather them together, go to Wuhan to help Wuhan. And even in Shenzhen, we have a hospital. They call it the number 3 hospital. So all the infected people were gathered in this hospital. And this hospital is not far from our factories. So we feeling the case is around us, not far from us. So you need to keep your own, you worry about yourself, you worry about your family, and you worry about your business, your employees. So every day you must go into every procedure details. Like me, in my house, I need to get all the background of all the employees. I have the list. What is their province? How they go back from hometown to Shenzhen? It's by their private car or by public
transportation.
By public transportations. It's different. From different province, also different, because different place have different risk. And they have enough like a face mask to protect them on the way or not. So I personally to go through everybody. So I will mark it by 3 colors. Green colors means this lot of employees, they can come back to factory. The orange background, that means they need to wait. And the red background, that means they was forbidden to come back because they are still very dangerous, high risk areas. So all the factory listing in my hand, I must go through this one every day. Because we have a very small team. It's safe already, and they start working, deliver some containers, but it worked normally. But every workers come back from hometown to enter this small team is dangerous because we don't know he's infected or not. So we must control everybody. How to control it? We need to go through all these details, and every day we need to update this with them to confirm what is your position, where you're now exactly, and what is your mobile number. So who with you go with you together, and everybody come back to our factories. So we will separate the dormitory. So the new they need sleeping separately, and we need to keep them separately 14 days to confirm he's healthy. Then he can come back to the worker teams. And the government, the community, they will send the doctors come to our factories to help us to check every day of all your workers, their temperatures, they are feeling okay or not. So last time, the government helped us a lot. We also put very strict control. So I never experienced this before. So it's very special and not so good experience, But I learned a lot from it. So we know healthy, it's most important. We know life is more than money. And we know everybody is a human being. Everybody should protect. And we know family need us. And we know government and the country is existing means a lot. In normal time, we just feeling ourselves. We don't know where is the country. But when the pandemic is coming, everybody know the country do a lot for us. If without very strong country, then without peaceful life. So the pandemic make all Chinese recognize country is protect us always.
And when you talk about country, you're talking about the government, right?
Yes, China.
So most of the Chinese people believe that the government make an excellent job or a good job or a bad job.
Actually, from my friends, I didn't hear anybody say the government do a bad job. Everybody say do a very, very good job. Actually, it's not government. We cannot come over so fast. So I think most of peoples, even all the peoples, they recognized Chinese government doing very, very good job. And the country, we're proud of our country. We're proud of our government. That is why I think after this pandemic, all the Chinese, they love country more. They love the government more. And they can enjoy in the peaceful life.
Yes.
So even now, we need to use a mask, a facing mask in China. So now it's, to be frank, everybody feeling very safe in China. So in the life, the worker, everything is coming back to normal. But
with the mask.
But with mask. Everybody with mask. No this law, no these regulations, rulers from the government. But everybody keep the mask by themselves because everybody have much more strong concept about healthy. So everybody use it. See, this is my mask for today.
Interesting. They use it by conviction, not because they are forced to use it.
No, they use it automatically by themselves.
Wow.
But this also very interesting about the facing mask. I feeling the culture gap, the culture difference between the West and the East. For example, in China, we use the mask, facing mask, to protect ourselves and also protect others. Because if somebody infected around you, so if you with the facing mask, that's where reduce the possibility of yourself be infected. And if you infected, so you will not infect others with the mask. So at least the mask can reduce the possibility. So we think it's very normal and necessary to put the mask. And easily for us to accept it, and we make decisions to do it. So that is why China, everybody use the mask. No any topics or bargaining about we need to use it or not. But very interesting in the West world, like the European or like the USA, they think just the infected people, they need to use the mask. They think if you are normal, you no need to use the mask. But it's very easy. It's very easy to understand. Use the mask can protect yourself. So I cannot understand why they have this way of thinking. So this is very directly to let me feeling the different idea of different culture.
Yes.
So who control you? The culture control you. The man, the concept control you. Different culture, different man, different idea will get different behavior, then get different results and different future of yourself, even this country. So we must accept the new concept, or we need to change the concept or behavior immediately. We need to understand the new things very fast. And then you can follow the steps of this society. So I learned a lot from this pandemic.
Yes, very interesting. Thank you. Thank you for sharing.